Hello everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Valmore. I'm back this week with a normal recipe, and this one is coming from the Final Fantasy XIV cookbook, and is going to be what I suspect is a light and airy cheesecake. This is cheese soufflé. Let's get started. And so to start this, I'm going to make the cheesy part, and that's going to start with cream cheese, butter, milk, and heavy cream. And now I'm going to do a makeshift double boiler and put this pan inside some simmering water. And I'm just going to heat this up until everything is creamy. And now that this has gotten nice and smooth, I'm going to add in maple syrup. And then I'm just going to mix that in. And then let it cool completely before I move on to the next step. So now I am going to separate some eggs. I'm going to separate them into a smaller bowl and move them into a larger bowl so that I make sure I don't get any yolk into the egg whites. And now into the egg yolks, I'm going to add cornstarch, lemon juice, and salt. And I'm going to stir that together. Now I'm going to put the egg yolks into my cream cheese mixture and stir everything together. Now I'm going to add in some cake flour. And I'm going to whisk that together. Now I'm going to put my egg whites into a mixer. And I'm going to mix those together until they start to get foamy. Now I'm going to add in some cream of tartar and some sugar. And I'm going to mix those until I start to get stiff peaks. And now that the egg whites have been whipped together, I'm going to put about 1/3 of this into my cream cheese concoction. And I am going to whisk those together. Now I'm going to put in another 1/3 of my mixture, and I'm going to fold that together until they're combined. Now I'm going to put in my final 1/3 of the meringue. And this I'm just going to lightly fold together until the streaks of white are gone. And now I am going to pour this into a springform pan that has been buttered, lined with parchment paper, and then wrapped in aluminum foil. Now normally you would put this into a large baking pan. Now I don't have one big enough to fit my springform pan, so I have an oven-safe pot that is wide enough and deep enough. So I'm going to put my cheesecake in there, and then I'm going to fill it with hot water about halfway up the springform pan. And now I am going to put this in the oven for 45 minutes, turn the temperature down, and then put it in for another 45 minutes. So I thought this was incredible. I'm a huge fan of cheesecake, and this has that sharp, tangy flavor of the cream cheese with a subtle sweetness and just a hint of maple syrup. But that's where the similarities for cheesecakes end, at least as I expect cheesecakes to be. Because this had a spongy texture that is so light and fluffy from the meringue. A lot of effort went into making this, but it was totally worth it. I hope you enjoyed. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at chef_Valmore. The links will be in the description below. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and come on back next week for another recipe.